The noise around Messi faded away until he heard something different. A sound that wasn't perfect, but it was full of feelings. He stopped walking and looked around. That's when he saw a thin boy sitting on the ground. The boy looked tired and wore old, dirty clothes. In his hands he held a broken guitar. His fingers moved over the strings, playing a sad tune. Even though the guitar was cracked and worn out, he kept playing. Messi stood still, watching. Something about this boy made him feel strange, like he had to stop. The boy wasn't asking people for money, and he wasn't trying to get attention. He was just playing music, almost like he was playing for himself. Messi took a step closer. "You play well," he said. The boy looked up quickly. His eyes were tired and full of doubt, like he didn't trust people. "Are you talking to me?" he asked. "Yes," Messi said with a small smile. The boy looked down at his guitar again. "This thing doesn't even sound right," he muttered. Messi noticed the cracks in the wood. Some strings were loose, barely holding on. Still, the boy's fingers moved with care, like the guitar was something special to him. "What's your name?" Messi asked. "Leo," the boy replied. "Do you always play here?" Leo shrugged. "When I'm hungry." Messi didn't say anything right away. He looked at Leo carefully. The boy looked about 12 years old, but he was too thin for his age. His small hands gripped the guitar like it was the only thing he had. "Do you like music?" Messi asked. Leo gave a small, weak smile. "I like not being hungry." Messi reached into his pocket and pulled out some money. He held it out to Leo. Leo looked at the money but didn't take it. "I'm not asking for money," he said quietly. Messi was surprised. "It's not a gift. You earned it by playing music." Leo still didn't take it. "If you want to help someone, give it to that man selling water over there. He needs it more than I do." Messi slowly put the money back in his pocket. Leo started playing again, but now his fingers seemed unsure. "Who taught you to play?" Messi asked. "My mom," Leo said, his voice suddenly softer. Messi noticed how his face changed. "Where is she now?" Leo stopped playing. "She's gone." A heavy silence filled the air. Messi didn't know what to say. "I'm really sorry," he said gently. Leo shrugged. "Everyone says that." Messi felt a tightness in his chest. "What about your dad?" Leo didn't answer. He just looked at his guitar, running his fingers over the old wood. It was clear. The guitar was the only thing he had left in the world. Messi took some money again and placed it beside Leo. Then, without another word, he turned and walked away. "Thank you," Leo's small voice stopped him. Messi hesitated. "Will you be here tomorrow?" Leo hesitated too. "Maybe." "Why maybe?" The boy smirked, but it wasn't a happy smile. "It depends on if I'm hungry." Messi nodded and walked away. But something about Leo stayed in his mind. He wasn't just another kid on the street. He had a story. And Messi wanted to know more. The next day, Messi returned to the same place. The same busy streets, the same people rushing past. But Leo wasn't there. Messi looked around, then walked over to the water cellar Leo had mentioned. "The boy with the guitar, was he here today?" Messi asked. The man glanced at him. "The police took him last night." Messi frowned. "Why?" "They said he was stealing." Messi didn't believe it. Leo didn't seem like a thief. He looked like a boy who had already lost too much. "Where did they take him?" The man told him about a public shelter. Messi went there right away. He didn't usually get involved in things like this, but something about Leo wouldn't let him walk away. The shelter had old walls and the air smelled like cleaning supplies. A young worker saw Messi and recognized him immediately. "I'm looking for a boy named Leo. He was brought here yesterday," Messi said. The worker hesitated. "He's in the dormitory, but he doesn't want to talk to anyone." Messi nodded. "Let me try." The worker led him down a narrow hallway to a room with thin mattresses on the floor. In the corner, curled up, was Leo. His broken guitar lay beside him like it was the most important thing in the world. Messi stopped at the door. "Leo." The boy didn't answer. "What happened?" Messi asked. "Nothing." Messi crouched down. "They say you stole something." Leo scoffed, still looking away. "Of course they say that. It's never their fault." "What really happened?" Leo ran a hand through his messy hair. "A man tried to grab me. He thought street kids don't matter." A chill ran down Messi's spine. "Did you get away?" "I hit him. He fell. But then the police came." "Who do you think they believed? The dirty street kid or the man in a nice suit?" Messi clenched his fists. "And what did they do?" "They threw me in here to learn not to cause trouble." Silence filled the room. Leo grabbed his guitar and ran his fingers over the worn-out strings. "I don't like this place," he muttered. Why? Because no one sees me here. They only see the rules. Messi understood. To them, Leo was just another number. Do you want to leave? Messi asked. Leo finally looked up. And where? Messi thought for a moment. He couldn't just take him home. But he also couldn't leave him here. I don't know yet. But I think I can help you. Leo let out a dry laugh. I've heard that before. And what happened? They forgot about me. Messi didn't answer right away. I don't forget people, Leo. The boy studied him for a long moment, then looked down at his guitar. You're going to give me money again? No. Then what do you want? Messi leaned forward. I want to hear your music. Leo blinked in surprise. My guitar is broken. So, do you play because your guitar is perfect or because you love music? Leo stayed quiet, then took a deep breath and started playing. The notes were soft and shaky. But Messi could hear something in the music, Leo's story, and he wanted to listen. Leo kept playing. The notes sounded sad, but Messi could also feel something else. Anger, pain, something deep in his heart. When the song ended, Leo looked at him, waiting for judgment. You feel the music, Messi said, meeting his gaze. Leo shrugged. I have to. What do you mean? The boy ran his fingers over the strings. If I don't play, I remember things I don't want to remember. Messi understood exactly what he meant. If I can get you out of here, will you come with me? Leo smirked. What if I say no? Messi crossed his arms. Then I'll come back tomorrow. Leo studied him like he was trying to figure something out. Then he shook his head. You don't look like someone who comes back. Messi tried not to smile. Then let me prove you wrong. Leo hesitated and played a soft note on his guitar. You have money. You can pay another kid who plays better. But I want to hear you play, Messi said. Leo frowned. Why? Messi took a deep breath. Because you remind me of someone. Leo scoffed. Let me guess, you were a poor kid too? Messi looked straight at him. Not exactly. But I know what it's like to fight to be noticed. For the first time, Leo seemed to really listen. You don't have to fight for anything, he muttered. You think I started at Barcelona? Messi asked. Leo didn't answer. When I was a kid, people said I would never be a pro player. They said I was too small, too weak. And what did you do? Leo asked. I kept playing. Leo looked at his broken guitar. I'm not you. You don't have to be me. But you have a choice, stay like this or try something new. Leo bit his lip. If I leave, what happens next? We'll figure it out together. Leo hesitated. Then he took a deep breath and started playing another song. Messi listened closely. The sadness was still in the music, but this time there was something else, a small spark of hope. The next day Messi came back. Leo was sitting in the same spot playing his guitar. When he saw Messi, he stopped. I thought maybe you wouldn't come, Leo said with a tiny smile. I told you I'd be back. Leo shook his head. Everyone says that. Messi sat on the floor. Do you want to see if I'm different? Leo strummed a note absent-mindedly. So, did you find a way out for me? Messi looked at him. I'm trying. Leo scoffed. That means no. It means I need to know more about you before I make a decision. Leo narrowed his eyes. Sounds like you want to adopt me. Messi chuckled. I want to help you. That's different. Leo studied Messi for a long time as if deciding whether to trust him. Finally, he sighed and ran his fingers along his guitar. What do you want to know? Enough to help you without making things worse, Messi said. Leo looked down. Do you want the short version or the one nobody likes to hear? The real one, Messi said. Leo took a deep breath. My mom died 3 years ago. Cancer. When she was alive, we lived in a tiny room, but at least we had a home. Messi stayed quiet. My dad left before she died. Sometimes he came back, took money, drank it all, and left again. After my mom died, he never came back. Leo clenched his hands around the guitar. I moved from place to place. I ran away from foster homes because I didn't want to be treated like a problem. Living on the streets is easier. At least I know what to expect. Messi felt a lump in his throat. And the guitar? Leo gave a small, sad smile. It's the only thing I have left from my mom. Messi finally understood why Leo didn't want a new guitar. And your dad never showed up again? Leo took a deep breath. I don't know. And if he did, I hope he forgot about me. Messi noticed the tension in his voice. What if he came back? Leo's eyes turned cold. Nothing. He's just a ghost. Messi thought for a moment. What if I get you a music scholarship? Leo blinked. Study? Yes. Learn music, get better, and have a different future. Leo laughed, but there was no joy in it. Nobody gives a scholarship to a street kid. I'll find a way, Messi said. Leo stared at him, then looked down at his guitar. And what if I'm not good enough? Messi leaned forward. You already are. Leo didn't say anything. He just started playing again. And this time, Messi felt like the boy was starting to believe. The next day, Messi returned with a bag in his hands. Leo sat in the same spot, playing his guitar with a serious face. When Messi got closer, Leo stopped playing and looked up. You again. I told you I'd come back. Leo eyed the bag. What's that? Messi sat beside him and pulled out a new guitar. It was shiny and perfect. For you, Messi said. Leo froze. His eyes flicked from the guitar to Messi and back again. I don't need it. You do. Your guitar is broken. Leo tightened his grip on his old guitar. It still works. Messi sighed. It's not about that. I want you to have something better to play with. Leo stared at the new guitar but didn't take it. It's not mine. It is now, Messi said. Leo stayed silent, then let out a small, bitter laugh. People think a gift fixes everything. But you don't understand. Then explain it to me, Messi said. Leo gently ran his fingers over his old guitar. This was my mom's. The scratches, the cracks. This is me. This is my life. Messi understood. It wasn't just a guitar. It was a piece of Leo's past. I get it, Messi said, putting the new guitar back in the bag. Leo relaxed a little, but he still looked wary. You always try to fix things with money? Messi held his gaze. Not everything can be fixed with money. Leo smirked. Then why are you still here? Because I don't want to give you money. I want to give you a chance. Leo looked down. And what if I don't want it? Then I'll stop insisting. Leo's fingers moved over the strings of his guitar. How do you think you can help me? I know people who can teach you how to really play. Leo let out a short laugh. I already know how to play. But you can be even better. You can make a living from this. Leo didn't answer right away. Do you really think someone would give a chance to a kid without a home? Messi leaned closer. I think you already have something most people don't. Leo tilted his head. What? Soul. Leo blinked, confused. Messi continued. When you play, people feel something. That's what makes the difference. Leo stayed quiet, thinking. You're not giving up, are you? Leo asked. No, Messi said. Leo took a deep breath. And if I say I need time to think? Then I'll wait. Slowly, Leo nodded. All right. Messi stood up, took the bag with the new guitar and placed it beside him. If you change your mind, it'll be here. Leo looked at the instrument, then back at Messi. Are you coming back tomorrow? Messi smiled. I'll be back. As he turned to leave, he heard music. This time it sounded different. It sounded like hope. The next day, Messi came back. As soon as he walked into the shelter, he looked for Leo. The boy was sitting in the same corner, but something had changed. The new guitar was out of the bag. He was holding it, touching the strings gently, like he wasn't sure if he could trust it yet. Leo stopped playing when he saw Messi. Before you ask, I didn't sell it, Leo said. Messi smiled. I know. Leo scratched his head, looking unsure. He strummed the guitar lightly. I didn't really like it at first, he admitted, but it sounds different. Better or worse? Messi asked. Leo hesitated. Better, but different. Messi sat down beside him. Different doesn't mean bad. Leo turned the guitar in his hands. You said you know people who can teach me? Messi nodded. Leo looked at him carefully. If this is just another lie, tell me now. Messi looked right into his eyes. I don't make promises I can't keep. Leo tapped his fingers on the guitar, thinking. And if I say yes? Then we leave right now. Leo's eyes widened. Now. Now. Leo looked around like he expected someone to stop him. But no one was paying attention. Where are we going? To a studio. I want someone to hear you play. Leo frowned. You want to make a video of me? I want you to see what happens when your music reaches beyond this place. Leo tapped his foot on the ground, unsure. And if I mess up? Then we try again. Leo took a deep breath. Can I bring my other guitar? Of course. Leo glanced at his old guitar in the corner. It was scratched and broken in places. Just so I don't forget where I came from. Messi nodded. Leo held the new guitar tightly, like he was making a big decision. Okay, let's do it. Messi stood up. Leo stayed still for a moment. Then he grabbed his few things and followed. As they stepped outside, Leo looked up at the sky, like he wasn't used to walking without fear. This feels weird, he said. What does? Messi asked, leaving without running. Messi looked at him. Get used to it. Leo let out a small laugh, but he still looked nervous. Are you sure this will work? Messi smiled. No. But what if it does? Leo didn't say anything. For the first time he thought maybe, just maybe, his future could be different. He didn't know what would happen in the studio, but he was ready to find out. Leo walked into the studio slowly. The walls had soft panels and the machines blinked with tiny colorful lights. He had never seen a place like this before. Messi walked ahead and greeted a man with gray hair. The man was fixing a microphone. Victor, this is the kid I told you about, Messi said. Victor looked at Leo with interest. So, you're the street musician. Leo held his guitar tightly. I'm just a kid who plays. Victor laughed. That's good. But I want to hear you say that after you play. Leo glanced at Messi, who nodded at him. Leo took a deep breath and walked to the chair in the middle of the studio. I've never played in a place like this, he said. Close your eyes and do what you always do, Messi told him. Leo looked at the new guitar. He still didn't feel comfortable with it. Instead, he picked up his old one. It felt familiar in his hands. I'll play with this one, he said. Messi and Victor exchanged a glance but didn't say anything. Victor adjusted the microphone. Whenever you're ready. Leo closed his eyes and took a deep breath. His fingers moved over the strings. The first note rang out. Unlike the streets, there were no cars, no noisy people. Every sound was clear. His music carried the same feelings as always. But this time it felt different. For the first time, someone was really listening. Messi watched in silence. He already knew Leo was talented. But seeing him play here was something special. There was truth in his music. When Leo finished, the room was silent. He opened his eyes, nervous. Was it bad? Victor laughed. Kid, if that was bad, then I'm a terrible music producer. Leo blinked. You mean? I mean you have something special. Something people can't learn. Leo bit his lip. But, what if I mess up? Messi finally spoke. Everyone messes up. But no one plays like you. Leo looked at them. For the first time he felt that maybe, just maybe, he could be more than a kid with a broken guitar. Victor clapped his hands. Now let's record this properly. Leo held his guitar tightly. The microphone was ready. Victor gave him a signal. Messi watched in silence. Leo swallowed hard. If I mess up, will we stop? If you mess up, you keep going, Victor said. Leo took a deep breath. He looked at the new guitar but chose the old one again. His fingers touched the strings and the melody began, this time without fear. The music carried his past, the cold nights, the hunger. But there was something new too. Oh. When he finished, Victor was silent for a moment. Then he let out a long breath. Wow, that was amazing. Leo looked up, unsure. Amazing good or amazing bad? Messi smiled. The best kind. Leo still looked unsure. Are you serious? Victor laughed. Do I look like someone who jokes about music? Leo relaxed a little. So, what happens now? Messi took out his phone and showed him the recording. Now, the world is going to hear you. Leo frowned. You're going to post it? Yes. Leo took a deep breath. Will it really matter? Messi looked him in the eye. Yes, it will. Leo hesitated, then nodded. All right. Post it. Messi pressed the button. The video was uploaded. Leo bit his lip. And if no one cares? Messi put his phone away. And if they do? Leo didn't answer. Instead, he picked up the guitar and played again. He didn't know what would happen. But for the first time, he was ready to find out. Messi's phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen. The video was blowing up. Thousands of people were watching. Comments popped up every second. Leo took a step closer, curious. Well? Messi turned the phone toward him. Leo's eyes grew wide. All this, for me? Messi smiled. All this, because the world finally heard you. Leo swallowed, staring at the screen. The music he always played alone, now it was everywhere. For the first time, Leo didn't feel invisible. The phone felt like a dream. The numbers kept going up. More and more comments appeared. People wanted to know who he was. They loved his music. They said it was beautiful, the best thing they had ever heard. Leo looked at Messi, still in shock. Is this real? Messi grinned. You can see it, can't you? Leo rubbed his face, trying to understand. But what does this mean? Before Messi could answer, Victor walked into the room holding his phone. Leo, have you seen this? I think so, Leo said, still dazed. Victor put his phone on the table. You don't get it, Victor said. People want to talk to you. Music producers, big schools, even important business people. Leo blinked. Me? Yes, kid. The world wants to know who you are. Leo's heart started to race. He didn't know what to do. Life had always been hard, and now everything was changing so fast. What do I do? He asked Messi. Messi smiled. You decide. Decide what? What happens next? Leo felt a knot in his stomach. He never had choices before. He never thought about the future. Now he had to pick a path. What if I choose wrong? Messi leaned in. The only bad choice is not making one. Leo swallowed. What if I'm not ready? Messi looked him in the eyes. Then we get you ready. Leo took a deep breath. This choice would change everything. He looked at his old guitar, then at the new one. Then he looked at the open door. For the first time he had a path to follow. For the first time he had a future waiting for him. Leo lifted his head. Then let's do it. Messi smiled. Leo's music was no longer just his. Now it belongs to the world. Leo stood backstage, taking deep breaths. He could hear the audience on the other side of the curtain. His heart was beating so fast. He had never been this scared, and never this sure. Messi put a hand on his shoulder. Nervous? Leo let out a small laugh. You have no idea. Messi chuckled. That's good. It means you care. Leo nodded but kept clenching his hands. What if I mess up? Messi smiled. Then you keep going. Leo looked at his new guitar. It finally felt like a part of him. But he had also brought the old one. It sat beside him, a reminder of everything he had been through. An assistant waved at him. It's time. Leo swallowed hard. Everyone is going to see me. Not everyone, Messi teased. Just about 20,000 people here, and a few million watching from home. Leo laughed nervously. That's supposed to help? Messi put his hands in his pockets. You've done this before. Just on the streets. Now the street is bigger. Leo closed his eyes for a second, trying to calm down. When he opened them, he took a deep breath and walked onto the stage. The bright lights hit his face. The crowd went quiet. Everyone was waiting for him. He sat at the piano. His hands were sweaty. His heart was racing. But his fingers knew what to do. The first notes filled the air. Leo played like he was back on the streets, just another day trying to earn a few coins. But this was different. People weren't just listening. They were feeling the music. The theater was full of sound. Every note told a story. The hunger, the fear, the loneliness, but also the hope, the second chance, the man who believed in him when no one else did. Backstage, Messi watched with a small smile. Leo wasn't just a kid playing music anymore. He was an artist. The last note faded. Silence. Then, one person stood up. Then another. And another. Until the whole crowd was on their feet, clapping. Leo stood still. His hands gripped his guitar. He couldn't believe it. Applause. For him. He swallowed hard. There were no more doubts. The boy who played to forget his hunger now played to touch hearts. And this was just the beginning. If you enjoyed this story, share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories filled with adventure, mystery, and excitement. Your support means the world, and it helps keep these stories coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.